guys, welcome. My name is Tennessee. Today we are working into our fourth week, our final week of your peak progression to 8 angle pose. So if you've already, or if you haven't done weeks 1, 2, and 3, I highly suggest go back, do weeks 1, 2, and 3. We're going to build on to our final week, actually really getting into that posture today, so flowing through into it. I will guide you in step by step, so you can take any levels that you need or any options that you need into the posture. That doesn't mean that you'll necessarily have to go into that full posture today, but I will guide you into that. So working on still into the upper body strength, activating through the core, everything lifting up and in, engaging your Mula Bandha, your root lock, and your Uddiyana Bandha, your stomach lock. Always pulling those up and into the midline to protect your low back. And then, of course, take what you need, leave everything on the mat, anything that you don't. I always start my classes with a chakra clearing. If you don't know what chakras are, there's 7 energy sources throughout your body. They start at the base of your spine, and they work their way up to the crown of your head. So I just want you to check in, notice what feels good, notice if any discomfort. So get out of your head, get into your body, whether that be through the posture or your breath. So today we are going to start on our backs today in a Supta Baddha Konasana. So come all the way back, bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Now if you have blocks or if you have books or anything around the house to help kind of elevate you, some sturdy pillows, you can definitely use those as well. Of course, you can always do this practice without blocks as well. But if you do have your blocks and you want to bring them in, place them underneath your knees. You can place them up into your hips. You can bring your knees into your midline in a modified bridge. You can also lay in your Shavasana, legs straight. You're going to be here for the first few minutes of class. So just want you to kind of settle in and get comfortable, and we'll get started. Now go ahead and inhale, completely fill up your lungs. Audible exhale, let that go. Let's do that again. Inhale, completely fill up. Audible exhale, release. See if you can surrender a little bit further onto the mat, releasing any tension into the body. I want you to check in with your feet, your ankles, your knees, your low back, your hips, your chest, your shoulders, your neck, your head, and your jaw. Now this time, inhale through your nose. Find a constriction in the back of your throat, and then exhale through your nose. Inhaling through your nose, and then exhaling through your nose. See if you can make your inhale the same length as it is your exhale, with the same intensity. This is your Ujjayi Pranayama. I want you to carry this breath throughout your practice today, through each posture, through each movement as we go through. Now just start to clear your mind and bring your focus, your energy, your awareness to the base of your spine, to your root chakra, your first chakra. This is your I am space, your foundation, your safety, your security. This is where everything starts. Just check in, notice what feels good, notice of any discomfort. On your inhale, bring your focus, your energy, awareness into your second chakra, the space below your belly button, your sacral. Your I feel space, where you house your emotions, your desires, your sexuality, also known as your mother womb. Now slowly start to work the energy up into your third chakra, the space above your belly button, your solar plexus, your I do space. This is what drives you, where your passions, your creativity, your power all lie. Now slowly guide the energy up into your fourth chakra, your heart, your I love space, space of relationships, self-acceptance, and unconditional love. Now gently move the energy up into your fifth chakra, your throat, your I speak space, space of communication, your truth. Just work the energy up into your sixth chakra, the space just between your eyebrows, your I see space, your space of intuition, and your third eye. then finally, take your focus, your energy awareness, all the way above your head to your 7th chakra, your crown chakra. Your I understand space, your path to enlightenment. I want you to draw the energy all the way down to the base of your spine and then inhale it through the 7 chakras to the crown of your head. Notice if anything gets stuck, if any discomforts, or if it feels good. Work to bring your focus, your energy awareness to those areas throughout your class today. One big clearing breath in. Audible exhale, release, let that go. Nice work, guys. Flutter your eyes open. Hug your knees up into your chest. Circle your knees opposite one another, in and out. Release any tension through your low back, through your hips. Breathe. Now slowly plant the soles of your feet down just outside your sitting bones. Your knees are up. Take your left ankle on top of your right knee. Now flex your left toes back towards your shin. Pull your left knee forward. Hug your right knee up into your chest. Relax your right foot. Extend through the crown of your head. Breathe. One more breath. Now exhale, find a supine twist over to your right. Take the sole of your left foot to the right side of your mat. It's okay if your knee is lifted. Bring your arms out to a T. Take your gaze left. Inhale, slowly come back into your midline. Roll slowly over onto your right hip. Straighten out your right leg. Let me move this block down. Now, option to come all the way down to your forearms for a modified baby grasshopper. Now, option to stay down to your forearms. Lead your torso down to the side of your mat. Other option is just to extend your left arm in front of your left shin. Reach for the blade of your right foot. Keep hugging your left knee into your shoulder. Feel that sensation into the external oblique. Keep drawing your torso forward and down. Inhale, slowly lift back up. Exhale, come all the way back onto your backs. Hug your knees back up into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Uttanasana, wind relieving pose. And then slowly work the soles of your feet back down just outside your sitting bones. Knees are up. This time take your right ankle on top of left knee. Find the reclined figure 4. Hug your left knee up and in. Flex your right toes back towards your shin. Pull your right knee forward. Relax your left foot. One more breath. Exhale, supine twist. Go ahead and take the sole of your right foot to the left side of your mat. Bring your arms out to a T. Take your gaze to your right. One more breath. Inhale, slowly come back to your midline. Straighten out your left leg. Roll over onto your left hip. Once again, find your modified baby grasshopper. Draw your torso down, forearms down. Option to reach, extend for the blade of your foot. Keep hugging your right knee into your shoulder. Inhale, slowly come all the way back into your midline. Hug your knees into your chest. This time rock and roll front to back. All the way the length of your spine to a tabletop. Cross at your ankles. Plant your hands down. Bring your knees back in line with your hips. Shoulders are stacked to your wrists. Your fingers are spread wide. Now option to ground through the tops of your feet. Option to tuck your toes under. Inhale, cow pose. Gaze up, bellies down. Exhale, cat, tuck in, round up. Pull your hip bones up to your rib cage. Dome up through your shoulder blades. Maybe add some movement side to side, left to right. Maybe add barrel rolls. Do what feels good for you and your body. So hold your breath. Let's do one more round here. Inhale, cow pose, gaze up, belly's down. Exhale, cat, tuck in, dome up. But now slowly work your way back to a neutral spine. Inhale, right arm extends up, gaze up. Exhale, thread your needle. Send your right arm underneath your left. Draw your right cheek down to your mat. Now option to keep your hips lifted. Option to pull your hips back by your heels. Option to extend your left leg out in line with your left hip. Option for a half bind. Inhale, slowly work your way back to your midline. Go ahead and plant your left hand back down underneath your left shoulder. Draw everything back in. Inhale, reach your right arm up, gaze up, hold here. Find wrist circles forward and back. Exhale, tabletop. Now inhale, left arm extends up, gaze up. Exhale, thread your needle. Send your left arm underneath your right. Draw your left cheek down. Once again, you have all those options. You can pull your hips back. You can keep them lifted, extending your right leg out to the right side in line with your hip. Option for the half bind. Inhale, slowly work your way back to your midline. Put your right hand back underneath your shoulder. Bring everything back in. Lift your left arm up, gaze up, hold here. Find wrist circles, forward and back. Exhale, tabletop. Now just turn your fingers back towards your knees. Option to tuck your toes under if they're not tucked. Just shift your hips forward and back. Feel that stretch to the forearms, to the wrists. You can stay back and hold here, or just keep shifting your weight. One more breath. Exhale, go ahead and place your fingers forward, tabletop. Now extend your right leg long behind, flex your toes back towards your shin. Reach your left arm forward, palm faces in. Inhale, lengthen, extend, reach. Exhale, draw your elbow to your knee and hold. Inhale, lengthen, extend. Exhale, bring it in. As you bring it in, round up through the shoulder blades, activate through the core. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring everything in. Good, slowly work your way back to your tabletop and switch it out. Extend your left leg long behind, reach your right arm forward, palm face in. Inhale, lengthen, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee and hold. Inhale, lengthen, extend, reach. Exhale, draw it in. Give me one more here. Exhale, pull everything in. Plant your right hand down, draw your left knee down. Now tuck your toes under. Lift your knees 2 inches off your mat. Find a tabletop hover. Now your shoulders are stacked to your elbows, elbows to your wrists. Belly button pulls into spine, knees are under your hips. Take your knees out and in. Try not to bounce your hips, activate the core. Belly button pulls in. Give me 4, 3, 2. Now hold your tabletop hover and 1. Bring your right knee to your right tricep, step back. Left knee to left tricep, step back. Alternate right to left. Feel the core. Feel the external obliques. Give me 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift it all the way up, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, breathe. First down dog of your class. Feet are about hip width distance. Take your gaze in between your feet, torso to your thighs. Ground through your first finger and your thumb. Release any tension through your head, your neck, and your jaw. Add any movement you need here. Maybe walk your dog, pedal out your feet, bend your knees. You can always bend your knees in a downward dog as much as you need. The goal is to extend through the spine. Good, now inhale, come up onto your tippy toes, roll into your high plank. Hold it here. Exhale, lower all the way down to your bellies. Hug your elbows into your rib cage, untuck your toes, ground through the tops of your feet, through your hip bones. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Lift your chest, hug your elbows back, shoulders melt away. Exhale, slowly lower. Let's do that again. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Exhale, slowly lower. This time, inhale, Cobra Locust. Hands and feet lift up off your mat. Ground through your hip bones in the soft part of your belly. Option to pull your palms back behind, palms face down. Option bound locust. Interlace your hands to the small of your back. Lift up, take your gaze slightly to the edge of your mat. Extend through the crown of your head. Breathe. Exhale, slowly release. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Come up onto your knees. Lift your tailbone high. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. Let that go. Now this time, take your gaze to the top of your mat. Walk your feet to meet your hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. Ragdoll pose, reach for opposite elbows. Sway your bodies left to right. Nod your head, maybe yes or no. Scoop the energy into your midline. Do what feels good for you. Release any tension to the small of your back and the back of your legs. Once again, you can bend your knees as much as you need. Good. Slowly draw your hands down towards your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Belly button pulls into spine. Shoulders melt away from your ears. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do that again. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Arms sweep all the way up. Take your gaze up. Exhale, hands down to your heart center. Inhale. Exhale, Tadasana. Nice work, guys. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Arms sweep up. Exhale, bring your palms together. Find a side bend over to your right. Squeeze your biceps towards your ears. Belly button pulls into spine. Activate the glutes. Activate your inner thigh. Breathe. Inhale, pull everything back into your midline. Exhale, find a side bend over to your left side. One more breath. Inhale, pull everything back into your midline. Exhale, find a small cactus back bend. Shine your heart forward. Take your gaze slightly up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Swan dive, jaw all the way down to your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back to your high plank. Lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Knees and hips lift up off your mat. Arms are straight. Gaze ahead. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. Pedal out your feet. Let that go. Beautiful. Now take your gaze back to the top of your mat. Separate jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Arms sweep all the way up. Now exhale, draw your hands down to your heart center. Inhale, exhale, Tadasana. We're gonna flow through that Sun A. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring your palms to touch. Find a side bend over to your right. Inhale, pull everything back into your midline. Exhale, take the side bend to your left. Inhale, pull everything back into your midline. Exhale, find a small cactus back bend. Breathe. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands. Separate jump, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. Pedal out your feet. Add any movement you need. This time, take your gaze back to the top of your mat. Step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Uttanasana. Toes to touch, knees to touch. Squeeze your inner thighs. Tailbone draws back, belly's in, chest is lifted, arms are strong. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant down, send it back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, war cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right heel rises. Now open up your hips, stack your hips. Your shoulders are square to the top of your mat. Feel the stretch through your right side, breathe. Now square your hip, straighten out your right leg. Tap to the outside of your right wrist, straight leg. Feel the external oblique. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, warrior one. Step to the inside of your right hand, back foot steps into a 45. Ground through the blade of your back foot, front knee stacks to your front ankle. Hip shoulders are square to the top of your mat. Arms are strong. Now, if your back heel's lifted, pull your heel down and then square your hips. Take your gaze up. Exhale, plant your hands. Send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips. Shoulders are square, breathe. Square your hips, straighten out your left leg. Tap to the outside of your left wrist. Inhale, sweeper three-legged dog. Exhale, warrior one. Back foot's grounded, front knee stacked, arms sweep up. Exhale, clench your hands, sit it back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe, let that go. If at any time you want to skip a vinyasa and go straight to your downward dog, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome to take as many breaks as you need. Take your gaze back to the top of your mat, separate jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Toes to touch, knees to touch. Arms are overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant down, send it back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Uttanasana. Inhale, right heel rises. Now open up your hips, stack your hip, breathe. Exhale, square your hips, straighten out your right leg. Tap to the outside of your right wrist. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, warrior one. Back foot's grounded, front knee stacks, your shoulders are square, arms are strong. Exhale, plant it down, sit it back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips, breathe. Exhale, square your hips, straighten out your leg, tap to the outside of your left wrist. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, warrior one. Back foot's grounded, front knee stacks, arms sweep up. Exhale, plant it down, sit it back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Woo, let that go. Come all the way down to a child's pose. Bring your toes to touch. Knees out wide, third eye draws down. Maybe shake out your hips, left to right. Check in with your body, breathe. One more breath. Now take your gaze to the top of your mat. Walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Place your left hand on top of your right. Draw your left shoulder down. Inhale, slowly come back to your midline. Exhale, take it to your left. Right arm on, or right hand on top of your left. Draw your right shoulder down. Inhale, slowly come back into your midline. Reach, extend to the top of your mat. Your fingers are spread wide. Lift your forearms up. Take your gaze ahead. Now roll forward. You have child's pose push-ups. Tuck your pelvis under as you roll forward. Try not to lift the tailbone up, creating the arch in the low back. You want everything sucking up and in. Stack your shoulders to elbows, elbows to wrists. Lower down to a hover, hugging elbows into the side body. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, send it back. You want to activate through the core here. Belly button pulls in, lower down to a hover. Lift it up, send it back. Now make the connection with your elbows into the side bodies. You want your elbows pointing towards the back wall. Give me 4, 3. Yes, you can. You've got 2. Give me 1 more and then hold it to a hover. Hold it here for 4. Pulse it, 3, 2, 1. Send it back, child's pose. Woo! Bring your palms to touch, knuckles of your thumbs to the nape of your neck. Let that go. You have 1 more breath. And go ahead and plant your hands down to the top of your mat. Lift all the way back up, downward facing dog, Uttanasana. Breathe, pedal out your feet. This time, take your gaze to the top of your mat, but bring your thumbs close together, maybe to touch into your midline. Now, separate jump, Malasana Yogi Squat. Bring your feet out to a 45 outside your sitting bones. Belly button pulls in, elbows to the inside of your chest, or elbows to the inside of your knees. Thumbs to your chest, extend to the crown of your head. I'm gonna face you guys so you can kind of see what we're doing. Otherwise, you can stay at the top of your mat. Now, option to stay here. If your feet don't touch all the way, take your stance wider. Other option, take your block, sit on your block, hold it here, and just lengthen and extend. Practice opening through the groin. If you've got it, you want to take it further, lift your hips 2 inches, reach your arms forward, shoulders melt away. Now shift your hips side to side. Activate through the hip flexors, activate through the core, through the hips. Give me 4, 3, 2. Now hold into your midline, lift and lower, and 1. Give me 4, 3, yes you can, 2, you should be burning, 1. Now this time drop your right shoulder inside your right knee, plant your right hand outside your right foot. Lift your hips up, load into your right shoulder, send your right foot back behind your left, come into a side plank. Stack your hips, stack your shoulders, lift up with the external oblique. Breathe. One more breath. Exhale, bring it back to Uttanasana, plant your left hand down, step your right foot back out to a 45, lower all the way back down. Good, find your breath. Now take it to your left side. Drop your left shoulder inside your left knee, place your left hand down, lift your hips, load into your left shoulder, pull your left foot back behind, come onto the blade of your left foot, stack hips, stack shoulders, lift up, bellies in. One more breath. Good, exhale, Uttanasana. Go ahead and put your right hand down, left foot steps back, lower back down. I'm gonna face the top of the mat. Good, find your breath, one more here. And then plant your hands, step back to a high plank or jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, breathe, let that go. Inhale, right heel rises. Exhale, high crescent lunge. Steps the inside of your right foot, or right hand. Back heel is lifted, front knee stacks to your front ankle, arms sweep high. Now, stack your shoulders to your hips. Your hips are in one line to the top of your mat. So if you're opening up here, activate your left glute and lift through the back of your back knee. Square your hips and shoulders to the top of your mat. Now look up, palms to touch. Exhale, right arm sweeps back behind. Find a twist in your spine. Breathe. Keep active through the back leg. One more breath. Bring your hands to your heart center and hook your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Varvita Ashtachandravasana. One more breath. Now plant your hands down to the inside of your right foot. Find your dragon lunge. Push forward with the ball of your left. Lower your back knee down. Untuck your back toes. Keep hugging your right knee into your shoulder. Option to come all the way down to your forearms. Option for a block. Option to just stay lifted. Whatever feels good for you. Give one more breath. Inhale, slowly lift back up. Come back to your palms. Find a twisted dragon. Heel toe your right foot out to a 45. Come onto the blade of your right foot. Gently press your knee out as you take your gaze up over your right shoulder. Now, option for the King Arthur stretch. You can reach back with your right hand to the outside blade of your left foot and pull up into your glute. You can take a strap if you have it. You can energetically work your heel to your glute if this is too much and just hold here, whatever works for you. You can always place a block anywhere you need support, underneath your hand, underneath your back knee. You want to stay off the top of your back knee. You have one more breath. Exhale, release your back foot. Heel toe your front foot to the middle of your mat. Find a half splits. Send your hips back to stack. Flex your toes back towards your shin. Lead your torso to the top of your thigh. Now again, option to place blocks underneath your hand to bring the ground up. If you need that support, you can always place blocks underneath your thigh as well. Just kind of settle in. Feel the stretch to the hammy tie-in. One more breath. Now tuck your back toes under, ground through your right foot, frame your front foot with both hands, lift your back knee, shift your way forward, standing split. Send your left heel high. Now walk your hands from the back to frame your front foot. Option for the bind, right hand to calf, forehead closer in. Good, fight for it here, one more breath. Exhale, open up half moon. So you're gonna just plant your right hand in front of your right foot, option for a block to bring the ground up as well. Open up half moon. Now stack your hips and stack your shoulders. Open up through the hips, activate your lifted leg. Flex your toes back towards your shin. Breathe. One more breath. Exhale, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Ground for the blade of your back foot. Front knee stacks to your front ankle. Work for the heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. Gaze down your front middle finger. Also, find the external rotation in your upper thigh. So if your front knee is pulling in, work it back to stack. Breathe. Exhale, reverse your warrior two. Reach your right arm up and back, left arm down. Inhale. Exhale, wide forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Turn your right toes in. Find a wide forward fold to the side edge of your mat. Walk your hands further in between your feet. Torso in between your thighs. Crown your head down. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to deepen. Now you can add in movement. You need here, side to side, lunges, left to right. Maybe a twist. Maybe a bind. Whatever works for you, whatever you need. Maybe all three. Give me one more breath. Then inhale, star pose, reach all the way up. Exhale, warrior two to the top of your mat. Sink into your front thigh. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Back heel lifts, front knee stacks, hip shoulders are square. Now, shift your weight forward. Parallel your left thigh to your mat. Bring your arms out to a T, find Virabhadrasana Eagle. Cross your left knee over your right, work for the bind. Place the top of your left foot to the back of your right calf or work for the kickstand. Now, sink your tailbone back and down. Sweep your left arm underneath your right, binding at the elbows, binding at the wrist or hands back to back. Fight for balance, fight for control. Inhale, work your shoulders back to stack. Exhale, find an eagle crunch. Draw your elbows to the top of your thigh. Inhale, lengthen, lift. Exhale, tuck it in. Woo, keep it going here. Yes, you can. Find the balance, find the control. Give me two more. Squeeze your inner thighs together. One more here. Nice work, guys. Bring it back to your eagle. Parallel your left thigh towards your mat. Release your bind. Step back, high crescent lunge. Exhale, plant it down. Send it back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Woo! Inhale, upward downward cobra. Exhales, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Nice work, guys. Now let's take it to our left side. Inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, high crescent lunge. Step to the inside of your left hand. Back heel is lifted, front knee stacks, hip shoulders are square, arms are strong. Now look up, palms to touch. Exhale, sweep your left arm back behind. Find a twist in your spine, gaze back. Active through the back leg. Inhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Exhale, hook your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Find the stack, find the twist. One more breath. Exhale, dragon lunge. Plant both hands to the inside of your left foot. You may need to heel toe your left foot out further. Push forward with the ball of your right, lower down to your knee, untuck your back toes. Option to stay lifted, option to lower all the way down. Knee blocks you place wherever you need that support. One more breath. Inhale, plant your hands, slowly lift back up. Exhale, twisted dragon, heel toe your left foot out to a 45. Come onto the blade of your left foot, gently press your knee out as you take your gaze up over your left shoulder. Option to stay here, option for the King Arthur stretch. Take your left hand to the outside blade of your right foot, hold your foot up into your glute. One more breath. Exhale, release your bind. Heel toe your front foot to the middle of your mat. Find a half splits. Just shift your hips back to stack. Flex your toes back towards your shin. Lead your torso to the top of your thigh. Good, you have one more breath here. Now exhale. Exhale, everybody tuck your back toes under, ground through your left foot. Frame your front foot with both hands, lift through your back knee. Shift your weight forward, find a standing split. Now one side might be more flexible than the other. Walk your hands further back to frame your front foot. Option for the bind, left-handed cow, forehead closer in. Fight for it here. One more breath. Exhale, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Place your left hand in front of your left foot. Open up your hips. Stack your shoulders. Activate your lifted leg. Flex your toes back towards your shin. Find the balance, find the control. One more breath. Exhale, warrior two. Go ahead and step back, round through the blade of your back foot. Front knee stacks, hip shoulders are open. Gaze down your front middle finger. Can you sink down further? Good. Inhale, reverse your warrior two. Reach your left arm up and back, right arm down. Exhale, Prasarita Padasana, wide forward fold. Turn your left toes in. Walk your hands down to the side edge of your mat. Pull them more, walk them further back. Maybe add movement side to side lunges, binds, twists, tripod headstand if that's in your practice. One more breath. Then everybody walk your hands back to the side edge of your mat. Inhale, star pose, reach all the way up. Exhale, warrior two, sink into the front of your thigh. Inhale, high crescent lunge, back heel lifts, front knee stacks. Exhale, Garudasana. Now shift your weight forward, parallel your right thigh towards your back. Find your balance, find your control. Bring your arms out to a T. Cross your right knee over your left. Work for the bind or the kickstand. Sweep your right arm underneath your left elbow. Bind at the elbows, bind at the wrist, or hands back to back. Inhale, lift, extend. Exhale, crunch it in. Keep it going here. Inhale, lengthen, extend, lift. Exhale, fallen eagle, crunch in. Give me 4. Ooh. You've got 3. You've got 2. You've got 1. Work, good job. Go ahead and come all the way back to your eagle. Parallel your right thigh towards your mat. Release your bind, step back, high crescent lunge. Back heels lifted, front knee stacks. Exhale, plant it down, sit it back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Ooh, let that go. Go all the way down to your knees. Nice work, guys. Now, come up onto your knees. And then sit back onto your heels. Bring your knees together, inner thighs together. Bellies pull in, chest is lifted. We're gonna work on upper body strength and really activating through the core. So working on our little Asana lifts. If you've done this in the previous weeks, you know what I'm talking about. So option for blocks, outside your thighs. Place your hands on top. You can always do this without blocks as well. So everything squeezes up and in, belly button pulls into spine. Your fingers are spread wide. You wanna grip your mouth, you're gripping a basketball, or even spread your fingers wide onto your blocks. I'm gonna take the blocks away. Now, plant your hands down, bring your toes to touch. You're rounding through your spine when you lift, so belly button pulls in, loading into the shoulders, lift the knees up into the chest, lift your tailbone up, exhale, lower down. Keep it going here. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Now, I'm staying on the top of my feet. That can be quite strenuous for most, so you can also tuck your toes under, lift up, lower down. You won't get as much of it as a core engagement, but you still get the idea and the muscle memory and the muscle engagement there. Keep it going, give me 2 more. You have 1 more here. Slowly lower down. Woo. Now come up onto your knees. Working on Camel Pose, Uttanasana, belly button pulls in. Make sure that your hips are in line with your knees always. Option to tuck your toes under to bring the ground up. Option to untuck for a deeper expression. Bring your hands to the small of your back. Work your elbows towards one another. Chest is lifted. Take your gaze slightly up and back. If this is where you're at, stay here. If you've got a half camel, reach your right hand to the inside of your right ankle, thumb to the outside. Extend your left arm straight up. Square your shoulders to the top of your mat. Keep pulling your hips forward. If you've got full camel, Both hands reach to the inside of your feet, thumbs to the outside. Open up through your heart center, gaze up and back. Pull your hips forward. If you're in a half camel, switch it out. Breathe. Good. Everybody bring your hands back to the small of your back. Lift your torso back up. Untuck your toes to back onto your heels. Place your hands on top of your thighs. Let that go. This can often make you dizzy. Breathe. Good. Now everybody just come all the way down to your bellies. So lower all the way down to your stomachs. Now plant your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Extend your right arm out to your right side. Your palm is face down and your wrist is in line with your shoulder. Send the sole of your left foot up to the ceiling. Find your scorpion chest stretch here. So you're going to roll over to the right side of your mat, sending the sole of your left foot to the right side. Inhale, slowly come back into your midline and then switch it out. Place your right hand underneath your right shoulder, extend your left arm out to your left side, palm face down, and then roll over to your left side. Send the sole of your right foot to the left side of your mat. Inhale, slowly come all the way back. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under. Lift all the way up, find a downward facing dog, Uttanasana. Breathe, pedal at your feet, let that go. Now inhale, right heel rises. Exhale, half pigeon. Bring your right knee to your right wrist, parallel your shin to the top of your mat. Ground through your pinky toe first, untuck your back toes. Lift through your torso, and then exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Now, option to take a block underneath your right hip to bring the ground up. You want to keep your hips in one line. So if you're opening up here and you're leaning onto your right hip and opening up, see if you can use a block or something to help square your hips and bring you back in line. One more breath. Now everybody plant your hands back underneath your shoulders, lift your torso, tuck your back toes under, lift through your back knee, send your right heel high, three-legged dog. Now open up your hip. Option to stay, option to flip for comet cross in a wild thing, or flip dog. So if you're in a wild thing, one leg is straight, one knee is bent, lift your hips up, reach, extend to the top of your mat. If you're in a flip dog, both knees are bent. Lift your hips and open up to the chest, gaze up and back. One more breath. Exhale, flip it back. Send your right heel high. Exhale, lower back down. Pedal at your feet. Inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, half pigeon, left knee, left wrist. Parallel your shin. Untuck your toes. Ground through your pinky toe, and then lower down. Check your hips, make sure they're still in one line. Make sure that you're not opening up here. We have one more breath. Inhale, slowly lift back up, plant your hands underneath your shoulders, lift your torso, tuck your back toes under, lift through your back knee, send your left heel high. Option again, open up, option to flip for comet cross in a wild thing, or flip dog, reach, extend, lengthen, and lift. Exhale, flip it back, Plant your left hand down. Left heel extends, lower it down to meet your right foot. Pedal out your feet. Now take your gaze to the top of your mat. Cross at your ankles, find your seated position. Dandasana, legs straight out in front of you. We're almost there, guys. Belly button pulls into spine, ground through your sitting bones, lengthen through the crown of your head. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Hinging from your hips, lead your torso to the top of your thighs. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to deepen. Now, if this is too much, you can always take a big towel or a strap, wrap around the blades of your feet, walk down your midline. Wherever you feel tension, you pause and breathe. But you're hinging from your hips, so we're not dumping down here. Other option is just walk your hands down the outside edges of your legs. Bend your knees as much as you need. Walk to the blades of your feet, to the tops of your feet. Work on straightening out your legs. If you need an extension, you can place anything past your feet to reach or elevate your heels. We have one more breath. Good. Inhale, slowly lift back up. Exhale, Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Interlace your fingers to the blades of your feet, and then slowly lower back down. I'm gonna face you guys as we work into our peak posture. Slowly lift back up. Now, parallel your left shin to the top of your mat. You can hug it closer in. And just cradle your right shin into your chest. Now, if this is where you're at, you're gonna stay here. Otherwise, we're gonna work into our 8 angle pose. So, you're gonna hook your right knee up as high as you can to your right shoulder. Everything hooks up and in, kind of like a backpack or a purse over the shoulder. Flex your toes back towards your shin. Really squeeze in here. So you should feel your hamstring squeezing into your bicep along with your calf muscle. Now plant your right hand outside your right hip. Elbow hooks out. Take your left hand outside your left hip and then cross your left ankle on top of your right. Fingers are spread wide. Grip your mat like you're gripping a basketball. Maybe you stay here, and this is where you're at, working on hugging everything in. Otherwise, if you want to lift your hips up and back, lift and lower. Activate through the low core. Now, if you've got it, you're lifting up and back, straightening out your legs. Gaze into your feet. Squeeze your biceps with your legs. Now find push-ups. Woo! Whatever feels good for you. And then lower back down. Take as much time as you need. Remember, you're lifting your hips up and back, simultaneously straightening out the legs, taking your gaze to your feet. You don't want to look straight down, you'll fall straight down. So take the gaze over to the side and then hug everything onto your arms. Now this elbow hugs back, right elbow hugs out, or wherever your legs are, your elbow hugs out. Fingers are spread wide, always active fingers. Always engaging your Mula Bandha. Sucking up and in, pulling everything back and up. Now let's take it to our other side. So, parallel your right shin to the top of your mat. Cradle your left in. Take your side to side. This is where you're at. Stay here. Work on opening up the hip. Taking your knee up as high as you can. Let this feel good. Now, if you want to take it further, hook your left knee on top of your left shoulder. Find that hook. Flex your toes back. Now take your left hand outside your left hip. Hook your elbow out. Right hand outside your right hip. Hook elbow back. Cross your right ankle on top of left. Now option to stay here and hold. Option to shift your weight, lifting up and down. Activating through that low core. Breathing. If you've got it, lift up, back, straighten at the same time. Lift up, pull your hips back, straighten your legs, gaze to your feet. Push-ups. That's an optional. Good guys, breathe, don't hold your breath. You got it? Come all the way down. Woo! Take some practice, guys. Again, this is one of those postures that I thought looked completely impossible. And I was like, I gotta learn that because I'm so competitive, it's awful. But once you get it, once you figure out the muscle memory, you're in it. And then as you practice and continue to build, you'll be easily on your way. Slowly work your way all the way onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Celebrate the small victories, especially from your week 1 to week 4. Let me know how you do or how you did. Send me pictures. Do whatever you need. I would love to see it. Or even if you want to send me pictures with guidance or video, I'm totally down for that too. Now work your way into a happy baby. Send the soles of your feet up. Draw your knees down. Plug your shoulder blades back and down. Maybe rock side to side. Make your baby happy. Slow your breathing. Now just hug your knees into your chest. Take the soles of your feet down just outside your sitting bones. Your knees are up. Find a bridge pose, Uttanasana. So pull your hips up to the ceiling. Activate your glutes, activate your hamstrings. Option for bound bridge. Interlace your hands to the small of your back. Roll your shoulders underneath your shoulder blades. Option for full wheel, if that's in your practice. Make sure your heels are close enough. Hands plant underneath your shoulders. And then you're gonna lift everything up. Slowly work your way all the way back down. Draw your knees down, hips down. Rock side to side. Let that feel good. Now find an easy supine twist. Draw your knees over to your right. It's okay if you have a staggered knee. If you want to find an eagle leg, you can find an eagle leg or stack your knees. You can also place your right ankle on top of your left knee. Arms up to a T. Take your gaze left. Work to keep your shoulders grounding. Inhale, slowly come all the way back. Again, rock side to side. And then slowly find a supine twist to your left. Again, you have your options. You can have a staggered knee, stacked knee, eagle leg. And then take your gaze right. Back into your midline. Send your legs straight up to the ceiling. Find your legs up the wall pose. Flex your toes back towards your shin. You can bend your knees as much as you need. I want you to surrender into your upper body. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest or digest. Really good to do right before bed. Anytime you hold anxiety or stress, anytime you feel overwhelmed. Slowly with core control, lower your feet down to the top of your mat. Once your heels touch the top of your mat, find yourself a good morning stretch. Inhale, reach your arms all the way above your head. Point your toes towards the front mirror. Big stretch through your front side body. Big inhale. Hold it at the top. Audible exhale, release. Allow your hands to fall out to the side. Palms face up, close your eyes, come into your final Shavasana. Inhale, completely fill up your lungs. Audible exhale, release. Let's do that again. Inhale, completely fill up. Clench your fist shut, shrug your shoulders up, squeeze every muscle fiber in your body. Audible exhale, release. Leave everything on your mat, take nothing home. When you're ready, come into a fetal position, either on your right or your left side. Your masculine is your right, your left is your feminine. And then slowly work your way up to an easy seated pose. Just crossing at your ankles, lengthening through your spine, sitting up tall. Inhale, arms reach all the way above your head. Take all that good energy, bring it down into your heart center, your heart space, your fourth chakra. Inhale your confidence, your self-love, your self-acceptance. And exhale all your fears and doubts. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.